So today with me, guys, I have fellow astrologer Barbara Goldsmith. You've seen her. She's so quirky and so fun when I watch her channel, and I thought it would be an amazing experience to get her on this channel and talk to you guys about her journey and what inspired her to start doing astrology and where it's going for her right now. So welcome, Barbara, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Stormie, for having me on your show. This is a first for me to be on somebody else's show, a fellow astrologer here, and yeah, I'm delighted to be with you. You've got a Taurus sun and I've got a Taurus moon, so I have no doubt we're going to get along famously.
Oh, I think so. I think it's going to be great. And it was fun watching your nature in your videos, and I just thought, oh, she just feels like a girlfriend of mine. I'm sure I'm going to connect with her eventually. So here we are.
Well, you sent me a very passionate email, and I responded.
I feel like Saturn and Sagittarius is the new YOLO, you know, where it's just, I'm just going to jump, I'm going to do it, I have no idea, you only live once, here we go.
That's great. I love that. Yeah, and I think Saturn in Sagittarius is very much about speaking your truth. Yeah? Absolutely. Whatever it is. I mean, you're in the United States, aren't you? Yeah?
I am.
Yeah, well, you're seeing that with your American elections, aren't you?
Oh, aren't we though? Heavens, we have gotten so interesting over the last, several months have been, yeah. People are definitely speaking their truth on a whole bunch of things. But, the other side of that kind of Saturn and Sagittarius energy that I love about you and you're bringing is that you are able to just stand up there and do and be who you are. But that started somewhere. So where did Barbara come from? What did that journey look like?
Well, thank you for the question. I guess I've always been interested in otherworldly stuff, which I would imagine that you have too, Stormie.
Yeah.
And yes, I had somebody do my chart for me when I was 18 years old, and I thought, wow, how did that woman know all those things about me? I've got to find out more. Yeah, and maybe you had a similar journey, did you?
I did. I was 6, and my family realized that I could see spirit and find out where missing things were at. And, they were a big Catholic family. So that was kind of out of their realm of knowing what to do with that. And they plopped me in the metaphysical community, and I watched a woman work a chart and realized I could read it. And there we were.
Wow, awesome. So you started at 6. I didn't get going till I was 18.
Oh, heavens, no. But I didn't follow that. I only have been Stormie Grace for about 2 years now. It took that long for me to hit that place of calling, of being like, okay. But then that thing kept pulling at me. And that's how Stormie Grace got started. And so, I didn't know if you'd had a similar experience, or you just said, I'm just going to be an astrologer, and there you were.
Well, no, the astrology has always been with me all my life, on and off. Certainly, I've been doing it professionally, probably full time for about the last 10 years, really full on. And I love it. I mean, what's not to love about astrology? It's such a big subject. And then about sort of 7 or 8 months ago, then I opened up to the whole channeling experience, and that's opened more up and brought out all this quirkiness and Donald Duck and all those other things that I do. Because, yes, why not be the individual that you are? Otherwise, we just kind of meld and look the same, and each person has got such an individual voice. I mean, you've got such a special voice of your own, Stormie, that's really unique. So I just love your enthusiasm.
If nothing else, I definitely do have a lot of enthusiasm, especially I think for everything. But so I kind of wondered when I watched your channel, what was your pathway towards your astrology education, or how did that come about for you?
Well, it really started with a night class. I went to night classes just because there was no real formal training where I lived. I mean, I was brought up in Manchester in the north of England, not much going on there other than football, Manchester City and Manchester United. I mean, that was about at that time. So there was an art class, and there was Mystic Peg, as we called her. Her name was Peg, and she was a Sagittarius, very appropriate for us speaking on the Sag full moon today. And she just brought it to life. She was quirky. She used to wander in with these different walks, and this is what Aries would say. Aries would push in and say, bugger off, I'm getting in. The Libra says, oh, do you mind? So she brought astrology to life for me, and from then onwards I was hooked.
Oh, how fun. So what was your first professional job that you did as an astrologer? What's the first professional thing you did as an astrologer?
I guess it was reading people's charts. Eventually I read friends and family, and then another one wanted it, and another one wanted it. And then I started teaching it, because I love teaching astrology. When you teach people astrology and suddenly the pieces fall into place.
Yeah.
The magic of astrology. It's like they get it, they get their ascendant and certain aspects. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Now I understand why I'm a quiet Leo. Because my son is in the 12th house, for example. Yeah. Absolutely. Now I understand. Yeah.
I did an interview with another girl today, and that'll be up for everyone to see. But it was so fun because she's a Cancer, and when I started working with her, she's like, I don't understand. I'm not very quiet, and I'm not very to myself. And I said, it really depends on your placement. Some Cancers really need to be in the shell, and they need to do that. And some Cancers actually stand out on top of their shell, and it's very fun to see that be different. And that's her, and she's hair and makeup and glamour and sparkles, and it was just really, it's fun to watch people's lights come on when they see how they're made, how their makeup is. It's really fun. So I agree with that 100%.
Wonderful. And as a matter of interest, which house is her Cancer sun in?
Oh, she happens to be in the 11th house, which I thought was phenomenal, because I was like, well, yeah, of course you're a YouTuber, absolutely, that looks fantastic to me. Let's go. Let's get you out there. Here's more.
Perfect.
That's what I said. So what parts of astrology have been the most surprising to you in this whole time? What has just really made you go, wow?
Wow. Well, lots of things.
Yeah.
Relationship astrology I find fascinating. Okay, when you look at the nuances, the compatibility, the sexual connection, what is there in that relationship? So when I do a relationship reading, for example, I look in depth at the individuals, as I'm sure you do, because you've got to sort of understand the essence of each person on their own.
Right.
Then you put them together, and wow, you get a soup, don't you? Is this sweet tasting, or is it a bit sour?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
How does this relationship look? Does it look as though it's going to be long lasting? Does it look as though it's a flash in the pan? So I guess it still always surprises me when people come back and say, you were right, thank you. Wow, that was amazing. You told me that really this relationship wasn't going anywhere, and I didn't invest a lot of time. And you know what? He was with another woman. So.
I know it's just right here. It's all just right here. It's fine.
Yeah. And it's amazing. I love the vocational astrology, where you can help people find their talents and a direction, with the midheaven and the north nodes and all those things, where you can just guide somebody just a little bit more along where their talents are and bring those out. Yeah. I love doing that.
And I think that this is the
astrology, business astrology. Sorry, I'm getting carried away here.
No, I asked you, so you were totally good. I was just going to say, I think it's such an exciting time in that vocational astrology, because I think that midheaven for everyone, regardless of placement, I think the midheaven has just got a light shone on it, and it's really like the universe grabbing people by the shoulders and saying, wake up and use the dang gifts I gave you. Let's go, move forward. And I feel like people just can't ignore it anymore. It's absolutely phenomenal to watch and to say, oh, so you probably enjoy this, or oh my gosh, oh, you have a midheaven in Taurus. Did you know you're actually well suited for self-employment? I've always wanted to own my own business. Well, let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're finding that with the people you're working with.
I'm finding that a lot. I'm finding that many people right now are quite confused and lost with the Saturn-Neptune square. I would imagine that you are finding that too, with all this mutable energy going on, the mutable cross. Do I go this way? Do I go that way? I've just decided on that and I've changed my mind. Yeah, so there's a lot of that going on, isn't there, Stormy? So I do feel as though astrology has got a wonderful place in giving that kind of direction, guidance, just pushing somebody gently to research or investigate something a little more themselves.
You know, so where you're at today, how long have you officially had and been, Barbara, on the YouTube channel?
Oh, I guess it's since 2008. It's probably about 8 years.
Okay. And what was your moment with that of clarity that it was like, oh, I should move onto the YouTube scene?
It was just a trial video, the first one I put out. I did it in my back garden. I thought, oh, I'll just say something. It was just pathetic. You know, it was half my head was chopped off. And it was just one of those, you know, moments. And it was just a trial. And then from there, it sort of grew and grew and grew. And as you can see, wow, you've grown so quickly, Stormy, in such a short space of time.
Yeah, let me tell you, that's been super interesting. But so what fun new things have you been learning with your Saturn and Sagittarius energy?
Well, I've been learning how to be a child, how to be childish, how to approach the world with a sense of wonder. Yes, every morning I wake up and I think, wow, yeah, look at those two little sparrows. They come to say hello to me this morning. Yeah, just the things that I used to maybe just take for granted now. I'm reveling just in the everyday things of life. They're wonderful. Yeah, imagine being a child. I feel like I'm 9 months old.
Oh, I love it. This is so fun. So are there any new collaborations that you're coming into or experiencing?
Yeah, actually, because of the channeling. And when I say channeling, you understand what this is. You understand everything that it's, that it's involved. I think you do anyway, if you've been doing it for 6. So I've just done an interview, actually, collaboration with my teacher, who's been teaching me the trance channeling. So that's a bit new, and I go into trance on that video. Yeah, I love it. I just love it because it's a richness. Yeah, when you're on your own, you are so much. But what is it the saying that when two of us come more than one, when we connect?
Yeah.
And I think Saturn in Sagittarius is about finding our tribes. We're getting together with the people that resonate, that really give us a feeling of just the freedom that each person needs, because Sag is about freedom, but at the same time, the respect, Saturn, for each person in their own space and time. That's great.
So, Barbara, you are in Greece. How did that happen?
You've got some good questions, haven't you? Very good questions. How did Greece happen? Quite by accident. In fact, the best things I feel that have happened to me, let's make it personally, happen when you least expect them, and when you are not preparing too much. Got to get your Virgo rising out of the way, haven't you? Because, I'm Taurus moon, all my planets are in the 4th house. I don't want to leave home. Yes.
Oh my God.
So, it's been a challenge. But then I visited all these countries in Europe, settled in Vienna for a little while, and I loved Austria, but I was sick of having snow and, all these, in the winter. And I took a trip to Greece and I fell in love. It was just like love at first sight. So.
Oh, that's so fun. And so now you're getting to be at this place that you love and expand your tribe. And I don't know that any of us can ask for a better and more rich experience, as you put it. I think it's phenomenal to watch you out there growing and seeing how just these little new moments of education you've taken on, how they change you in your videos. You just look like you ate the moon. You're very glowy. I love it.
Thank you, Stormie. You are special, really you are. Because usually, you know, as I was just saying before we came on air, I don't normally do this kind of thing because I have had a few requests, but how can you say, my guides, whatever you want to call them, they said, yes, you've got to go with Stormie. You know, it was like such a big yes. So I don't argue with that. That's, if you like, the intuitive voice.
Well, Barbara, I'm so grateful that we finally got to talk and that we got to have a chat here. And I look forward to watching your channel and keeping up with you. And maybe we'll have to collaborate on something sometime.
That sounds great, Stormie. Thank you very much for having me on your show. I've really enjoyed meeting you today. Thank you.
You are so welcome.